All right, I am recording. Beautiful. Hi, Vivienne. So where are we? We are Module 6 live Q&A. So our final live Q&A for this round, but don't be sad because the group is open. You know, there's people on all different modules, totally cool. Wherever you're at is where you're at. Keep posting in the group, keep asking questions, keep working through the modules, and the next live round will be in June. Unless my calendar changes, but that's, you know, I've planned out my next 6 months and the next live round will be in June. So you get to do it all again and, you know, you get to choose whether you want to actually do it full on or whether you want to just sort of follow along, do the Q&A calls, totally up to you. But every time you do this work, you're going to find that it sinks in a little deeper, you know, and even the practical stuff which we're doing in modules 5 and 6, you know, you advance with how much control you're taking and how deep you're going. So everything just goes to a new level every time you do it. So it's all good. All right, so module 6 was really about bringing it all together and putting our money planner together properly, you know, fine-tuning all the numbers, really looking at starting to make those empowering choices around what do you want your money to do. Like, you decide, give it a job to do, decide what the best use of it is, and put it all in your planner so that it's all documented and you know what's going on. And then from there you can go into the automation of, you know, eliminating debt and having the money flow the way it needs to flow, and just knowing that there's enough here to cover what it needs to cover and there's enough here to cover what it needs to cover, and if I just follow the system, I'm on track. So that's what this module is all about. And, you know, there's a few bits and pieces to it and you won't necessarily do it all in 1 week, and that's totally cool. No one expects you to. And if you hadn't done your tracking yet, then do the planner, do the module 6 work anyway, start the tracking, then go back and just tweak everything after you've done the tracking, because your real life numbers tell you the true story of what's been going on. And if you don't take the time to really look at that, then, you know, it just makes it so much harder, because then you're basically trying to plan like an ideal thing, like a perfect world thing, and you're not open, or you don't really have your eyes open to what's really been going on, so that you can go, oh, now I know why, you know, this has been happening, or I'm feeling like that, or there's never enough money for this. And it just, you know, it puts you in the seat of power. So the tracker is really important. So as tempting as it can sometimes be to skip that, I really highly recommend you don't, because I find the difference between the people who make this really, really work for them and just run with it and it changes everything, to the people who kind of go, oh yeah, I tried it, but then, you know, oh, then I just got distracted and forgot. It's because all their old habits pull them back and they haven't become conscious enough of what they truly are to put them in that position of power. So before I get into it and just do a little review, I want to just talk to you guys who are with me live and just make sure I answer any questions or fine tune or anything even that you think, I've got this, but I'm not sure that I think maybe other people could possibly need clarification on it, or here's where I think, you know, we need to just really get it straight. Sorry, I think I've got ants crawling up my legs, so maybe this is not the best seat out here. Itchy. So yeah, I just want to hear from you guys, see how you're going, see if there's any parts of it that you're not 100% sure about, or, you know, let's just talk through it and see what comes up. So can I start with you, Laura, darling? Hello, lovely.
Sure. So I do actually have a little question about
Great.
all of the extra accounts. So what we've got at the moment is we have 4 mortgage accounts, 2 are fixed and 2 are floating, which are effectively revolving credit type accounts. And we can't just open up more accounts without going all through the faffing about and stuff. The fixed ones are actually up in April, and we'll be looking to change banks because we're not overly happy with where we're at, but we don't want to have to pay to break them out just yet.
Yeah.
So what I've done in the meantime is I'm going to change over all of our like bill payments and things. So we've got like a cash account and a savings account effectively. What I'm going to do is put all of our bill payments and things to come out of our savings account, and then every time we get paid, like move the money that's put aside for bills and things into that account, and then just leave our main checking one with kind of like the fun and a little bit of a buffer. Does that Will that work okay, or is there a better way of doing that?
So, and just to make sure I've got it straight, so you've got 4 mortgage accounts, 2 are fixed loans, that's fine, that's just your mortgage, and 2 you said are lines of credit.
Yeah, they're just revolving credit, floating accounts.
And so is one of those the one you're referring to as your checking account?
Yeah, so with both, we have one as a checking account and one's effectively a savings account.
Okay, so how are you using a line of credit to save? Sorry, just playing a little bit devil's advocate. Because a line of credit is like a big credit card, right? With a huge limit at a home loan rate. That's what it is. So how's that a savings account? So you're calling saving, paying it down towards zero? Is that what?
That's typically what we've done, is we just keep it on floating, and we can pay extra off on it. And then when it gets to a point that we're basically almost at zero, when we refix and do all of that, that basically is paid off and gone, and then we might break a little bit more out of what's in fixed onto the floating and then put more in there. But then because we can kind of flex it up and down a bit, we have a bit of flexibility if we kind of need a little bit of extra cash for something unexpected and that kind of thing. So yes, I know where you're going with that. I don't particularly like it, but
banks
when we
love
bought
it.
the house like 8 years ago or something, it was kind of like, it was all of the rage then. And like we've done perfectly okay with it. We always pay the credit card in full every month and all of that kind of thing. But I find there's less flexibility to do the stuff that you've talked us through, which I'm now sitting here going, well, that makes way more sense than what we're currently doing. And I think we could actually pay more off the mortgage quickly, but because we're sort of locked into it until April, I just don't know whether I wait until April or there's a better way of doing it in the meantime.
Don't wait till April. So, all right, so there's 2 things. Number one is, lines of credit, like in Australia, the same, especially a few years ago, they were like the big selling item. And the reason they're the big selling item is because all the banks got told to sell the shit out of them. And so they were pushed on people as, it's all in one, and, you can live out of it. You pay your credit card automatically. And, this is sort of, I know you understand this. I can tell already you understand this, but I'm just going to say it for everyone else's benefit, that the problem with it is it doesn't work for most people, because it's like a huge credit card that you live out of, and you've got no idea like whether you're paying it off or whether it's going up. And so it just, for most people, a line of credit will always teeter near the limit. It'll just always sort of teeter-totter there. And it's not like a normal home loan where you're locked into a payment that will actually start making it pay itself down, like amortize. And so lines of credit are like, because really, they just don't give you the control and the system and the structure to pay them down. So what I would say for you, and, luckily you're a really systemized person, and you've got a little system in place to kind of manage it. And I like how you're saying, well, we pay that line of credit down, and then we bring some of the fixed across, and then we pay it down. And so we refix that to lock it in. And I understand what you're doing, because I'm a finance broker. So that's cool. So what I would say is, okay, but still, having said all of that, I know you're using it as your checking account, but it's your mortgage. It's your home loan debt, right? So yes, it's this structure till April. And when April comes, like if without knowing your full situation, sitting down doing like a home loan appointment, but generally speaking, for somebody who's got a good system in place, which is what we're doing here, the best home loan to have is just one single variable, as in, what do you call it? Oh, you guys
Floating?
call it variables. Well, floating is probably more a line of credit, but it's like your fixed loan, but it's on a variable rate. So the rate changes, as the interest rates change. And when it's on that variable rate, it means you can pay it off faster and pay as much as you want. And those voluntary payments, just like what you're doing in your line of credit, they're available for you to draw back out if you need them. So you can build up your emergency buffer in there. You can pay it off fast and go, okay, we're going to pay it off faster. We're going to make sure we've got 3 months, 6 months worth of living expenses in there. Like, that's our first target. And we're always going to make sure that's there. And plus we're going to go extra. So you can do stuff like that. So let that be your plan with the mortgage for when you can refinance it. And the reason I say variable rate is Fixed rates are good if you're like really stretched to the max and you just couldn't afford your loan to increase in commitment at all if rates change, but you're so restricted, you know. If the market changes, you might be stuck on a much higher rate. You can't usually pay off much extra. You often can't access the voluntary extra payments, so it sort of leaves you really locked in. So a variable rate also gives you bargaining power. Like if you can ring your bank every year and go, your competitor's cheaper, please match it, or I'm going to leave, you know. So it just puts you in a position of power. And so fixed rates, usually people go into them from a place of fear. We want to do everything from a place of empowerment, right, and confidence, because you're taking charge of your money. So let the mortgage plan be to just go on the, you know, lowest possible variable rate, 0 fees, just simple home loan, and then the plan will be that the minimum payment on that is what's actually going to pay it down, rather than now line of credit. You just have to cover the interest, and you don't have to do any more than that if you don't want to. So that's the mortgage. And then set up your bank accounts separately, because your home loan isn't really part of what we've been talking about. You know, it's sort of more a future step of wealth creation, depending where you're up to. So you've got 2 choices between now and April. April's not far away.
No, it's not.
I would say just start setting up your bank accounts. Set up a new everyday bills account. Set up a new, you know, cash spending money account. Maybe decide that, yes, we will use the mortgage as our savings account. You've already been doing it. You're comfortable with that idea. Use it as your savings account if you want to. But if you've got credit card debt and so on, it's, you know, it's not going to sit there for long enough to make a difference anyway. So it's often best to just, until you've got, if you've still got credit cards, personal loans, car loans, things like that, don't try to pay off extra off your home loan, because it's going to be there for 3 days, you know, and it's not worth it. When you get to the stage where paying down your home loan is the number 1 priority on that wealth creation plan, then you just go, right, all that money from the wealth creation fund, that is now our home loan. Like, it's all going into our home loan. Does that make sense?
It makes complete sense. Yeah.
Like April's so close. Just set up your bank account, start getting all your your direct debits and your all of that coming out of those, and just go, and the mortgage will become a much simpler mortgage in just a couple of months. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. That makes a lot of sense.
Easy. Super easy. and the good thing is you've got, like, you know, you've got 2 months to kind of, because you're going to change your home loan anyway, and you've got 2 months
we'll
to kind
go
of
to a different
change.
bank, I think. So
like, and it doesn't matter if your bank accounts aren't with the same bank as your mortgage. It doesn't matter at all, because you don't really want to be sold into a big fancy bells and whistles package anyway. And it's like, really, your home loan should just be something you pay your minimum payments, you take care of the more urgent things first, and then when you get to it, you start paying extra to it. Doesn't have to be in the same spot. Makes no difference. Hey, Jennifer, thanks for joining us. Cool. Anything else?
No, that was it.
No?
Thank you. That's really helpful.
Going good with all the rest of it?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. Feeling good.
And I thought you'd like my little slide about, if you're too busy to build a system, you'll always be too busy. When I put that in, I was like, Laura's going to steal this, and so she should.
I screenshotted it. I did.
And I couldn't find out whose quote that was, but I was like, this is gold. It's really
good one. It's definitely a good one.
And it's the truth, right?
Yeah.
You build the system, and then you can stop being so bloody busy. There's a thought. Okay, beautiful. That was a great question. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sure lots of people will actually benefit from that. Beautiful. All right, let me have a quick chat to, let me see, Vivienne. Hi, you all right to have a chat?
Yeah. Just
good.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'll turn up my volume.
That I feel so funny, but well, that's how it is. No, I'm doing okay. I have a lot of different bank accounts, and I'm just trying to tweak them into your system, because I love system. So I love the idea of having some money here and some money there, and so I'm just tweaking them a little bit, because I have 2 big accounts. So I'll just have some money coming into one and some money coming into the other one. So I just have to do the one you're saying. Everything goes into one, and then I have one for tax.
Oh, this is your business you're talking about? You've got different bank accounts? Oh, okay.
I just have to do some tweaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and the last day, I've been actually trying to get a better deal on my electricity.
Great.
Yeah, and it's so empowering. I'm like, yes, I'm in control. And I'm trying to get a better deal. I'm going through a year of electricity bills and see that, I am paying too much. And that's not cool.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
It feels good, doesn't it? And the thing is, it's also like an energetically really good thing, because it puts you in that position of power, and it just brings you more and more and more good stuff. So you find that things snowball, and you set the intention and you get excited, and suddenly you just kind of come across a great deal, so you don't actually have to work so hard to figure it out and make all the phone calls. So yeah, and all those things, all those little things really add up, all our utilities, our insurances, all that stuff. It's easy to go, oh yeah, that's just, it's not worth the phone call. But you go, no, that's over a year and there's like 12 of them or something. And yes, that's a lot of money. And when you then start understanding the power of putting it towards paying off debt or accumulating savings and adding compound interest to it, it's like, no, I want every dollar I can get, and I get excited. And so it's a really different energy to come at it from. That's cool. That's good. And all right. And so you're good with everything else. How are you going with putting your planner together? And, have you sat down and gone, okay, does this all balance,
I still have a lot of work to do. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just started.
Cool.
But I still have a lot of work to do. Yeah.
So just make yourself a list, like, the modules 5 and 6, make yourself a list, like bullet point list, and just go, okay, I'm just going to work on this thing this week. And then when I've done that, I'll move on. And so, you'll get through it and you're moving forward. And once you've gone through it all, it'll be like, oh, that's done. So yeah, it's just a process to go through. Yeah. Fantastic. And what else was I going to say? And with your, like the banking, it can sometimes people go, oh, I've got stuff everywhere and I've got to pull it together. Again, just make a list. If that bank account, if you just grab the statements and go, okay, what's going into there? Well, I need to ring a few people or send some emails, and always bring that energy of the excitement and the empowerment, because then you invoke the magic of the universe as well. And you'll have people ring you at just the perfect time. You go, oh, I meant to call you and actually give you my new bank details, and it just kind of flows and takes care of itself. So set the intention that these are the things I'm doing. This is the list. And you can also I like to write a little note on there going, give us a little bit hand here, please, universe. I want to get this done really nice and easily. And, set that intention that you're going to have just all these perfect moments come together and it'll just be easy. Just set the intention that it's super easy and it'll just flow and it'll go like that. So good work. Well done. Yay. All right.
I've started. So
yeah, exactly. So you're so much further than you were a week or 2 weeks or whatever ago. And it's just, and it just keeps going. And, just if there's any questions that pop up, just tag me in the group, ask me questions, you stay in the program. Like, this is the live round and we've done the lessons and the Q&As and all of that, but the program's still there and I'm still there. So, and you guys are still doing the work. So do not hesitate to ask a question, do a video if that helps you explain it better, tag me, and I'll help you guys out. So yeah, because I want you all to succeed. I want you all to get this humming and just go, this is the best thing ever. That's fabulous.
I'm just, because everything, it takes some time for me to write everything in English, and sometimes I'm just sending Lynn a message in Norwegian, so I'm like celebrating with Lynn.
Good.
So I'm not always posting in the group, but I'm trying to send her in Norwegian, because sometimes I feel it takes so much time to write in English. So I'm working that way.
Good. Well, that's good, because you guys are on the same wavelength, and so that's great. So you've got that group energy together anyway. It takes me a long time to write things in English too sometimes. Okay. English is not my first language either. It is these days, but yeah. you know. So yeah, beautiful. You're doing great work. I'm very, very, very happy and proud of you. Happy for you and proud of you. So good work. Come a very long way. All right, my love. I might just mute you quickly. One sec. Do a check in with the lovely Ali, who's just looking more beautiful every day these days, I have to say. Did I just hang on? You're not unmuted yet. Have you unmuted yourself? What have you done? Something's not working.
Not hear me?
Now I can. There you go.
Oh, I'll just fold that. Might be that.
You're a radiant picture of health these days.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very well.
Yeah, you are.
I'm still working on my planner. I did track everything in and out for 30 days, so I've got all of that.
Great.
I had a separate little book, and I bought it especially so that because I love handwriting stuff, and every day I recorded everything in and out and my emotions that went along with everything that was coming and going. So I've got that ready to put in the planner. It's a bit tricky with not having Office on my little dysfunctional laptop. So I have saved it to my OneDrive to use the Excel online. So hopefully that will all work okay.
Yeah, it'll be really simple stuff because you just have to add numbers up. So even if you add them up, you know, with a calculator by hand and then just chuck the total in there, it should be fine.
And I'm looking forward to having a little bit of peace and quiet to dedicate to it. I don't want to start it until I know I can sit and concentrate on it and do it. So I think Monday I'm going to be able to do that because, you know, with 6 kids coming and going during holidays and stuff, it's been difficult to have that block of time. And I've got some other things on the go as well. So, and I haven't looked at Module 6 yet because I don't want to do Module 6 until I get through Module 5 because I'm a process person and I like to complete one before starting another. Perfect. So I'm really looking forward to getting into that. But I had a lot of stuff automated anyway. And there's a lot that I can't tidy up until I get back to work, which is when school goes back. And then I'll be able to finish setting everything up properly to automate as much as possible. We have separate finances, having 3 kids each, but we have a joint mortgage account and we have a joint bills account. So we know how much we need to contribute to that every month to make sure that everything is covered and the mortgage is covered. And there's a couple of things that we each cover that's not joint. In contributing towards the house. So we've still got, you know, after the 2 years, it's been that epic journey, and now we're really on the cusp of change. And now my husband's working full time and I'm going back to work, and so we have the opportunity to be able to reshuffle everything and you know, get on our way to recover from the credit card situation, which we had to live off for those 2 years, you know. So we're on our way.
You are. It's a whole new chapter of life now for you. It's amazing.
It is
so exciting. It's a real like turning the corner kind of. So you should totally celebrate. And look, the separate, you know, cash spending money accounts and maybe even some more like of the non-discretionary stuff for the kids. That's fine to have them separately. Like you can duplicate some of those accounts. You don't have to have just the one. I've just, in what I've given you, I've kept it as simple as possible. But even for myself, like I said, I like to have a separate account for the groceries money. I've just always done it and I like it. And I know it's probably not really necessary. I could just put it in with my bills money and use that one. But it's not costing me anything in fees. And I just like knowing that that's our money to eat, you know. And
I think so we might need
to
do that one too. I really like that separate grocery account because that kind of does get a little bit tricky because I probably do that more often, but then he takes care of other things, so you know it can be tricky sometimes, but I think the grocery thing is a good idea.
And that's where your planner comes in handy. And you know, if you want to, like, when you do the planner, if you decide that groceries right now is just one line in the bills account. But if you decide to make that a separate bank account, we'll just, highlight it in another colour and you just know that that's a separate bank account and you can kind of tweak things accordingly. So that's no drama. And you've done 85% of the work already because you've tracked every cent and that's really powerful. And you've tracked your emotions as well. So you've done the energetic work to go with it. And that's why I gave it to you in module 1 because I'm like, all right, do this now and you'll be perfectly set up and you'll have done all the processing around all the energy and the stuff that comes up around it. So, you may still have to get out your bank statements maybe for some stuff, but when you sit down with your planner, you should have most of it there and it won't take you very long. So
I'm really looking forward to using that planner. I'm such a visual person. So that's just going to make things so much easier to see exactly where everything is at.
Yeah, and like you put it all together and then it gives you the snapshot and, you might have to sit down with your husband as well and go, okay, just see this. So this account will be for these things because Martin still goes to me, so which account's that from? I'm like, we've only got 3, honey. Which account do I use for that? That one. And, that's okay. So it's good to keep it simple and then just be really clear on that's that, and away you go. So yay. Good. So let us know how you go when you put the planner together and, shout out if you need any help, if you have any questions.
Will do. Thank you.
Awesome. And just make a list of, the stuff that there is to do. And like I said before, you just go through it one thing at a time. Good work. All right, young lady. I'll talk to you later on. Mwah. I shall mute you. Have a quick chat to Lynn. Oh, Lynn, you're unmuted already. Beautiful. Hi, Lynn. How you doing? Wrapped up in your blankie. Lynn, you're muted again. Just hold on. I can't unmute you for some reason. What's going on? Okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
How are you?
I forgot about time, but I'm good. I'm selling stuff from my house.
You are clearing energy, clutter, and bringing in money.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have sold some kitchen stuff, and tomorrow I'm selling 2 chairs that I bought 6 years ago on Finn, our Craigslist. And now I'm selling it for twice of what I bought them for.
You always do that. I love it.
I love it too.
There's a little, when I was talking about ways to generate more income, this is your genius. This is your little special superpower. It could totally be a little side gig where you just go, I'm just going to grab that because I know I'll sell it for double. And you just always have a bit of extra money coming in. How perfect. Yeah, maybe don't wait 6 years though.
Yeah, no, but I usually do that when I see that something has value. Like if I sell something that I bought that I no longer need, then I don't usually make so much money because, if I bought it like new or something. But if I buy it used, I will buy it for like really low price. And then I just turn around and I put out a price and then I see how much people are willing to pay. And usually it's double. So
yes, nice.
It's good. Yep.
Great way to generate extra income. Yeah. And it's so good, isn't it? You just go, there's all this money and it's just been sitting around my house. And I said that to my husband the other day because we just, we're clearing clutter and just getting rid of stuff. And it's like, okay, do we give this to the Salvation Army? Do we throw it in the bin or should we sell this? And there's just all this money's been sitting around our house. I said, it's, like if there was hundreds of dollars of cash sitting in all these cupboards, would we just leave the cash sitting in the cupboard and ignore it? Or would we go, hey, I'm going to do something with that. I'm going to bank it. I'm going to pay it to this and that. And we just get oblivious to it sometimes. So that's really cool.
Yeah. And also this week, I gathered together some IKEA stuff that I bought for a wardrobe one time. That we didn't put in, and it doesn't, we don't need it, so we just returned it, so we got the money for that too. So that's pretty cool.
And you're going to get rid of that storage unit cost, which is fantastic. I was really excited when I saw that post because I'm thinking you've basically got like a storage unit full of money sitting there and you're paying someone to hold on to your money so that you can't use it. you know, that's kind of like if you translate it and look at it differently. And now you're going, I'm going to stop paying you and I'm going to take that money and do stuff with it, you know, because that stuff is money.
I'm going to pay down my debt. And also another thing that I just got the new bill, because you kind of have to you have to let them know in advance that now I don't want to use it anymore. And, you know, then you can stop using, or you can stop using it, but you still have to pay it. So it's like a, you know, subscription thing. And I'm like, yeah, friggin' raise the money. Are you nuts? Come on, you know, I can use that money for other things.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
I'm not gonna spend that money on my storage unit anymore. So
great. Yeah, so all this money going out and sitting around, and we get oblivious to it, and you know, so it's just really important to kind of go, okay, what's actually going on? And it's amazing how much flow that starts, and then that raises your vibration, and as your vibration raises, more good stuff happens and more things just start popping out at you, and it just builds and builds and builds, and suddenly you go, oh, okay, life's totally different. How did that happen?
Yeah, so, but I think it also has to do with I think perhaps that my idea of feeling abundant before was if you had stuff, you know. And now I feel like I would be feeling more abundant if I could breathe.
You know? Yeah, it's interesting. And, you know, that's why I say, you know, really look at where your money's going and why. You know, we often say, oh, I need this. And we don't really need it. We just want it. And so then it's, well, why do I want it? You know, and it's really important to go, am I just trying to fill a void or distract myself, or kind of, you know, band-aid over feelings of lack by going, well, I can afford to buy this, so I'm okay, and that makes me feel abundant. So, you know, but we have these patterns.
Sometimes I think it's like a default thing too, because today I was working today, and we had like a special offer, and I'm wondering what I'm going to use my special offer for. And I walked around in the store that I'm working in, and I'm like, I don't need one thing here. I'm not going to buy anything for my special offer because I really don't need anything. And I'm like, I went home and I'm like, yay. I didn't need to use that special offer. There's going to be other special offers, and, you know, I can get stuff that I want, and you know, so it's kind of like, I'm like, really? You don't need it. Even if it's on special offer, who cares? You know, you can buy it full price if you want. But, you know, right now, you don't need it.
Yeah, and you know what? That's actually a feeling of abundance when you go, I don't need anything. I've got everything I need. And when I do need something, I have it, you know, and but I have all I need right now. Like that's what feeling abundant means. And, you know, and a lot of people spend their time, and, you know, I've spent lots of my years like that as well, where you go, oh, if I could just have that, and I still don't have this, and I really want that. And so you're always thinking that you need to get more stuff. And it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the way we feel, because that feeling comes from within you. And so, yeah, when you get to that stage where you go, actually, I don't need anything. You actually just want to start getting rid of stuff. Like to me now, feeling really wealthy and abundant is exactly what you said. It's feeling light. It's getting rid of stuff. Like Martin and I keep dreaming about, we want to live in a tiny home and, you know, just have the minimum amount of stuff that we absolutely need, be really flexible, really free, have a nice little motor home, and just be able to go on the road and, you know, just take my laptop and my camera and my microphone, and that's it. I've got my business and I've got all I need. So yeah, it's really funny, because, you know, sometimes when people hear that, when they haven't done the mindset change yet, they go, oh, you just want me not to want the things I want anymore because I can't really have them. And it's like, no, if you feel truly abundant, you actually realize you already have so much, and you stop trying to fill the void by just wanting more stuff. It just happens. So yeah,
true.
Really
but
interesting.
I still want my big home, though. You know.
You still what? Sorry.
I still want my big home, though.
That's totally cool.
I don't want a tiny home. I want a big home. I want a pool.
Well, see, I have a big home and a pool, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But down the track, I'm thinking, tiny home, somewhere near the water, still need the water, but just less. And even now, our house, like I'm pretending it's a tiny home. I'm just getting rid of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fabulous. All right. And so you sound like you're doing pretty well. Good job.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. So I need a big house and my pool so I can adopt rescue dogs. You know, that's my mission. So I can't have a tiny home with lots of dogs.
No, you can't. You'd need a big home for the dogs and a tiny home for you, and that wouldn't make any sense.
Right.
Okay. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank
now,
you.
who have we got that I haven't chatted to yet? Jennifer, are you able to chat from home? You haven't got your video on, so unmute yourself if you're able to have a quick chat, or let us know in the chat box if you can't talk at the moment. Hi, Anisha. Oh, thanks, love. I'm at a beach house, and I was saying to Laura at the start of the call, I know this looks like a fake backdrop, but it's actually just one of those pull-down screens, and so it makes it look really amazing. Okay, so it looks like Jennifer can't talk, or maybe she's run off to the toilet, which I sometimes do during live calls. Anisha, can you talk? Can you unmute yourself? Do you want to have a quick chat? Just want to check in with you while I've got you. No, sorry, at work. Okay, no worries. So what I'll do, that's cool. And if anybody else, if you've got any questions, just jump in, unmute yourself, and just interrupt me. I want to do a super quick recap. And hang on, let me just make sure everyone's muted. Cool. And I'll do a quick recap of Module 6, and hopefully I can do a really quick recap of the earlier modules just as a reminder, because it's really important that you go, you know, the reason we do that stuff first is because that provides you with the strong foundation and the vibrational basis that supports all of this. If I had thrown you guys straight into modules 5 and 6 at the start of this program, there'd probably be just me on this call right now, because everybody else would have freaked out and run for the hills. But you know, you've done all the vibrational work, and it's raised your vibe around money, and you've cleared a lot of the gremlins out. And so now you're actually going, hell yeah, I'm going to take charge of my money because I'm feeling good about my money. So it's really important to keep up that vibrational work. Okay, so Module 6, let me do a quick recap. While I remember, also in the member site, under Module 6, I've thrown in just 2 extra audios that I thought would come in really useful. Yes, that's correct English. For you guys going forward, and especially as stuff pops up. So one is an audio that takes you through a little process that allows you to surrender automatic negative thought patterns. So what I mean by that is basically when you worry and when you're just stuck in a loop and you find yourself going, like stuff's just spinning through your head, and it's usually worrying about something, and you're going, like I'm trying to shake it. So use that process. It takes you through like a little pattern interrupt that is really powerful and really works. And then the other audio that I've chucked in there under Module 6 is one that helps you raise your vibration. So, you know, yes, I want you to keep doing the happy habits and notice your evidence and do a happy dance and kiss all the money that you find and let everybody see it, which is so cool. And I want you to do all of that. But, you know, if sometimes you go, oh, I just need a quick fix now, then make sure you've got yourself a copy of that audio, download it to your phone, sit down, you know, spend, I don't know how long it is, 15 minutes probably, something like that, and just get back into it. And then it'll actually be easier for you to go, right, this is how I'm meant to feel. I need to get back into the habit of doing my happy habits, of noticing my winks, you know, celebrating my evidence, all those things that keep your vibration buoyant. So, we talked about the tracker already. I've just got a note here in front of me to remind you all, so I'm not going to repeat that. So the 3 main things that I wanted you to take away from this module is that putting a system in place is really your ticket to freedom. It's your ticket to freedom and your ticket to eliminating the stress around money, because you'll have decided what your money's job is. You'll have given all your money a job to do and decided what your priorities are, and then there's a plan in place, and all you have to do is follow it. That's it. And once it's in place, it'll be so largely automated that, you know, it'll be a no-brainer, and you don't have to keep worrying about it and checking on it and so on, because you know, I've put the system together, so all I need to do is follow it and I am on track. And that's really liberating, and it actually raises your vibration a lot, because you can just let go of all the, you know, constantly having stuff buzzing through your head. The second thing was that, you know, the domino effect is a really, really, really powerful thing. And I put it in the group. I put that video in the group when we were talking about taking baby steps so that the universe can leverage off of you. So you make a little bit of an effort and the universe goes, all right, cool, you've shown up and let's run with that. And that's also a really powerful analogy and metaphor for what we're doing here with, you know, starting your debt elimination plan and your wealth creation plan, because you've got to start. If you don't start, you'll never get anywhere. If you just keep crossing your fingers hoping for the best, you know, you'll probably still be in the same place or worse down the track. So just start. And yes, you start small. You start from wherever you are right now, but that's the key. Start, just start. Do whatever you can do right now. Just start. And that is what grabs a hold and builds the momentum and creates that, you know, avalanche. And the third thing is that taking charge of your money is really a big key towards healing that relationship with money. Because, you know, in the past, you might have made money the villain. Oh, money's this, money's unreliable. Oh, you know, and you badmouth money. And so the whole energetic relationship goes, oh, ugh. So taking charge of your money and, you know, actually giving it a job to do and empowering yourself around it is huge in helping you heal that relationship. So we talked about systems, that's cool. And the other thing, just to remind you of, I've talked about compound interest a fair bit. I first brought it up, if you want to revisit it, in module, what module was it? Where we talked about habit archetypes. So module 3, so there's actually an illustration of the power of compound interest. And I talk about it a lot because the point is that every dollar makes a huge difference. And, you know, you can use that to drag you down further, or you can use that to elevate you and move you forward, because compounding can also work in reverse. So that's where credit cards and things like that come in. There's interest on interest on interest, and it just snowballs. So we need to get out of that pattern, switch it around and start turning that tide and using it to create the snowball effect going forward. And compound interest is all about time. You know, over time, it builds and builds and builds and creates this amazing avalanche where you go, wow, you know, I started with this tiny thing and all I did was just do this little thing over and over again. So it's all about time, which is why it's so important to just start now with whatever you can. It doesn't matter, because it all counts and it all makes a difference. And then, you know, as your debts start reducing, because you're working against you're not letting the compounding work against you anymore, the debts start plummeting, and then, you know, you can swing that pendulum around and start really increasing, you know, your emergency buffer, and start paying off your home loans and start accumulating investment money and all that sort of stuff. Like, it actually swings. Once it gets momentum going, the swing is really quite profound. So the key is to just start, because it's a time thing. So when's the best time to start? Well, yesterday's gone, do it today if you haven't yet. And I know most of you have, so very, very proud. Okay. Can I just say I'm so, so proud of you all. You've all done such great work, and I know each and every one of you have had your own stuff, and you're just all in there and you're doing it and you're grabbing it life by the horns, and I'm just so excited. So all of this builds your confidence, and your confidence builds your vibration. And as your vibration builds, you know, your income keeps flowing. So it builds momentum at every level, on the practical level, on the energetic level, on every single level. So the thing is, you've got to take the control and make those choices that empower you. So we're doing everything from a place of being in control and making the choice, and you're the one in the place of power. You know, you're not a victim just floating to circumstance. You're in control, you're taking charge. So the home play was to make your debts cheaper. So to do just like what we talked about with utilities and phone accounts and internet and blah, 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 and insurances, and do that with your debts as well, because you totally can. You know, we talked about refinancing home loans, but also personal debts, car loans, all of that stuff. Most of it can be renegotiated. If you're stuck on a fixed rate at the moment, you know, it's still worth finding out what would it cost me to break out of this so that I can get onto something much cheaper, and do the numbers. Because if say you only have one debt, like one personal debt and it's on a fixed rate, or only one home loan and it's on a fixed rate, nothing else, and this is the only thing that you want to get rid of, if breaking out of it, even if it means you break even over a year, but it allows you to pay the extra and really start accelerating getting rid of it, to me, that's still worth it. And actually, we did that this year because I fixed some loans a while ago when they were really cheap. And then I was like, actually, now I just really want to pay those suckers off. And the break costs were going to pay for themselves over the course of a year, but it also meant that I could really accelerate repayments to it. And I went, okay, well, it's never nice copping an extra fee, but to me, it's still worth it because I know the power of being able to put the extra money towards it on top of, it paying for itself over the year anyway. So sometimes you have to kind of make those choices. So that was your first homework, to do the looking around for making your debts cheaper as well. Even just calling your mortgage provider and going, your competitor's cheaper, what do you want to do to keep me? It's a phone call and it's a whole lot less effort than refinancing, and it's always worth a shot. And even if they drop your rate for a couple of months and then you still refinance somewhere cheaper, it was only a phone call and it saved you money. We put your debt elimination plan together, right? And that's really about finding that little bit of extra money to put towards eliminating those debts. So, if it comes down to, okay, do I really need my gym membership, or can I just go for a really good walk every morning and put that money towards getting rid of my credit card faster? I know what I would choose. So, it's about making choices. What do you need? What do you want your money to do, and what's most important to you? And, where can you switch things around? So the key is to find extra money, and in the planner you've got the wealth creation fund, and it lets you list all your minimum payments for all current personal debts, and then there's that line for the extra money. So find that extra money, even if it means that you start selling stuff on Craigslist or Gumtree or whatnot, or whatever it is, or you find something else and you go, okay, I'm happy to live without that if it means I can get rid of all of this stuff. And always from a place of power, be excited about it. That's really key. And make sure that when you're doing that, like you're going, this is my sole focus right now. My sole focus is to get rid of those credit cards or whatever it is. And that's all I care about. So if extra money comes in, it's going straight to that. I'm not going to be tempted to blow it on going out to dinner or just stick it in my purse and it kind of disappears along with everything else. No, I'm putting it straight in there. So I'll give you the practical example. We've been clearing clutter, and we've got a specific loan that we want to pay off right now, and that's the focus. Like, it's like the theme of the month, the theme of the year is this is what we're getting rid of this year, and all the focus is on that. So the money planner is in place. We know we've got enough spending money. We know we've got enough money to pay our bills, and when extra money comes in, it goes straight towards that focus in our wealth creation plan, towards that debt that we want to get rid of this year. And so when we've been selling things on Gumtree, if someone shows up at the house and gives me $50 cash, then I will put that in my purse and I will go straight to my cash spending account, and I will transfer $50 out of my cash spending account towards that debt, because I've got the $50 back in my hand, right? Does that make sense? So I don't wait. I just do it straight away and go, right, got $50, off she goes, beautiful. And every little bit helps. So, and you'll see that once you start applying this, you go, wow, that's gone really fast. In the beginning, you go, what's happening? And suddenly you go, wow, when did that happen? So extra cash, really important, which is why I gave you #bonus money. When bonus money comes in, celebrate, and just keep tipping those buckets. And as you do that, once the first one goes, the second one starts going faster, and the third one even faster, and it just builds and builds. It's really exciting to watch. The next bit of your home play was to sort out all your money flows, make sure the budget is balanced, make the decisions you need to make. Do I need to cut back on some stuff? Do I need to make some other choices here? Do we need to generate some extra income? What are our options? How can we do that? So look at those things, and then set up your money flows. So set up your banking and work out what the percentages will be, And then really, once you've got that down pat, once your plan is all set up and you've got those percentage breakdowns down the bottom, and you go, okay, am I happy with all of that? Do I need to adjust anything? Then all you need to do is sit down once a week or once a month, depending on your pay cycle, and go, right, I know that out of everything I get paid, this percentage in my business, this percentage goes to tax, and then that much of it goes through to my flows through to my personal bills account and is our personal money. Okay, and then out of that, I know that 10% goes to my cash spending and this much goes to my, and just use percentages, and it just makes it simple. So it just becomes super simple. If you've got regular income, it's even simpler because you can automate that in your banking and you don't even have to sit down and calculate it. But if you've got irregular income, then you'll need to, sort of tally it up every week. And if you do that, make sure you keep doing it like you do the money tracker. Make it an opportunity to notice what comes up. Notice your thoughts, because then you can keep, flushing out gremlins and keep raising your vibration and healing that relationship even more. So it's all good. It's all empowering. And it shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes a week. Now, if you've got a home situation where one of you's got a fixed regular income and one of you's got an irregular income, and your finances are joint, say, or mostly joint, if you can work it out to go that, okay, this person, whoever it is, say your partner's got really regular income, you've got the business, so he's got a job and you know exactly how much it is every week, so you can then literally go, well, that doesn't go through the business accounts, comes straight into our personal, and we know that we've got these many dollars here and there, and you can just split that straight away. And then you might even be in a situation where you go, and all my income, if it tallies up, or most of my income can go straight towards the wealth creation plan, whether that at the moment means the wealth creation plan starts with eliminating personal debt, or we're already up to the next step where we're accumulating emergency buffer, or wherever you are. But you can say, okay, and all this money goes towards that. So, have a little look and see how you can just make it as easy and automated as possible. And then I recommend you automate as many of your bills as possible, because you've gone through, you've reduced the expenses, you've double checked that, you're not being ripped off and that you're doing the best you can. And then if you can automate those to come out of the account where the money's going to be, means you don't have to spend the time doing it. So I like doing that. I do pay some by hand, but it's up to you. And then last of all, sit down and look at that wealth creation plan. Look at the bigger picture and start getting excited, because even if right now you're still at the point where you're going, okay, credit cards, personal loans, just look at all that money that it adds up to every month and go, wow, once this stuff's gone, and it'll be as fast as it can possibly happen because we've got the system together, look how much money we've got every month, to start accumulating the next thing, emergency buffer, start paying off our home loans, start putting more money into investments, whatever the next plan is. So make a bit of a plan and get really excited. And, maybe put a note in your diary to sit down with your partner once a year at least to review the bigger picture plan and just go, right, what's our theme for this year? What's our focus for this year financially? What are we both going to be excited about and on board with, and know that this is the focus? Like I said, this year we've gone, that one there, that's our whole focus. That's it, and it's just, there's no questions about it. So that's all of that. How are we going for time, ladies? Yeah, I'm going for an hour. I just want to see, does anybody have any quick questions around that? I know we did a quick round. Everyone good? Thumbs up? Yes? Cool. So I might just do a really quick recap back to modules 1 and 2, because that work is important and I want you to keep it up. So in module 1, I reminded you that a high vibration is what helps you just breeze through upper limits. If you consistently on a higher vibration, you're not going to hit upper limits so hard and have these traumatic experiences where, you've had this amazing growth and then suddenly it all comes crashing down on you. When you do the work consistently, you you gradually grow and evolve, and you just get used to feeling better. This is my new normal. This is my new normal. And it just happens quite gently. And so it's not that sudden, wow, I've had this amazing experience and I'm all on this high and I've had a great week, and then, oh my God, everything comes crashing down. It will just even out, and you'll just keep rising with the tide, which is really powerful. So make sure that you keep noticing evidence of abundance, because abundance is everywhere and you have much more than you think. Even at this point, you still have more than you think. And the more you become aware of it, the more you notice, and the more you notice, the more you attract. So it just keeps building. So #evidence, keep posting it in the group. Happy habits, keep them up, because that's what helps you get used to feeling good more of the time. Sounds silly, but it's important, right? It's really important. And remember that where your attention goes is where your energy flows. And you've only got so much focus in a day that you can give, and you get to choose. Like, do you want to focus on the thing you want more of, or on the absence of it, or the thing, the lack of it? And Ali says, yes, I still haven't done the freak out all through the holidays. Excellent. Cool. And the holidays is when people freak out. It is, because everything slows down. Suddenly we have all these extra bills, and, it's super easy. Well done, Ali. That's so cool. And noticing that is really powerful. So everything you do, just notice. Oh, isn't that interesting? So then module 2, we talked about that your thoughts become things, right? Your perception is your reality, and it's up to you to program yourself as to how you want to see the world and what you want to see more of. So we did some visualization. It's really powerful. You only need 4 minutes a day. And just remember, the key is do it for fun, not to try and force something. Because if you're trying to make something happen, you're actually going, I really want this and I really need it. So you're coming from a place of lack. So visualization is about just having fun. Just like we're doing our expansion work, where we're spending more and more money, we're doing it for fun. We're also doing it to expand our comfort zone around how much abundance we allow ourselves to have. But we're doing it, the idea is to do it for fun. Ali just said, even when I only had $4 to feed us the other day, I just laughed. What did you have? $4, rice and bok choy. And
eggs.
some eggs. Perfect, yeah.
Pack choy and zucchinis out of the garden. Eggs.
Gotta love a garden.
Perfect.
It's good, isn't it? Yeah, like there's always food around, isn't there? We think there's not, and there it all is. I just reminded myself also, very last lot of expansion work on this module, on this Q&A. Go your hardest and spend $500,000. So #500K. See what trouble you can get yourselves into with $500,000. I want to see that one. I can't wait. So whenever you're watching this Q&A call, or whenever you decide to play, but I suggest you do it now so that you remember, #500K, have some fun with it. Lynn's going to buy the big house straight away because that's your thing. Beautiful. But yeah, have lots of fun with it. Let your imagination run wild. In module 2, also, we really talked about congruence being king, and it's not just about your vibration is important and it dictates everything else, but you can look at that thoughts become things cycle and start bringing in and tweaking the other components of it to really start running a new pattern. So remember, your words are so powerful. Like, people easily forget this. Your words are manifested thoughts. So they're actually, we say thoughts become things, but then thoughts become words when they have more energy. And so that's even closer to a physical manifestation. So pay attention to your words, really, really notice them, and use your pattern interrupts. So have the ones ready that, sometimes, I find myself going down the rabbit hole. Have a pattern interrupt ready. Acting as if is a pattern interrupt. It's also a really nice way to just, lay down the new pattern. So it's all about, we just want to practice the new pattern. We don't need to fight the old one. We just need to practice the new one, because there's only so much real estate, so much energy available in your brain. Neurons that fire together, wire together. And when you stop using the old patterns, they start decaying on their own. You don't actually have to sit there and fight them and break them down and take them apart and take all the nuts and bolts out of it. when you do that, you actually reinforce them. So don't be tempted to fight the old stuff. Just notice it, let it go, practice the new. Like, just make that your mantra. I just need to practice the new pattern. I just need to practice the new pattern. Everything else takes care of itself. It's actually that bloody simple. Everything's energy, right? So just remember that your thought is what connects you to the idea, and the feeling is what attracts it. So these are like sort of the two simplest things. Practice the new thing, keep your vibe high. You don't have to keep, and that's why I say you don't have to keep visualizing to try and make something happen. That's not what visualization is about. Visualization is about helping you get excited. It's about helping you get excited and pitching lots of ideas and going, wow, this will be fun, that'll be fun, that'll be fun, and spending some time immersed in that energy. That's it. You're not calling the waiter over again and again and again until you get yourself kicked out, right? So really notice your talk. Your talk's really powerful, and it just tells a story. And just find ways to get out of conversations that you don't want to be in, and change the topic and get busy and walk away, and stop yourself as well. And if you've got a partner who's really on board with it, even ask them, say, when you catch me doing this, like bitching about my money, about our money, or about money in general, can you just remind me that I asked you to tell me, I think you're doing that thing that you prefer not to be? Like, figure out a way that they can give you a pattern interrupt, one that won't result in you biting their head off, ideally, because we all know about that. I think I told you guys the story of when I told my kids, if I get to the roundabout when I'm driving you to school and I'm still yelling at you, just remind me that that's my cutoff point. Wasn't pretty when they tried. I'll just super quickly touch on modules 3 and 4. So module 3 was a reminder that your income is irrelevant. Your habit pattern is your habit pattern, and the numbers are almost irrelevant to it. And the resulting feeling is going to be the same. So it's about understanding that, it's my habit patterns. It's my patterns of thought. It's my patterns of feeling. It's my patterns of taking control of my money. These are what's creating my reality. And I'm busy telling stories about what life is like, what my money situation is like. And my stories are powerful, and they're really hypnotic. So pay attention to the words. Again, the words are you telling a story. What story are you telling? What story do you prefer to be telling? Remember that you can delay and distract. And that's a really powerful pattern interrupt. Delay and distract. So it's in a minute. It's not, no, I'm not going there again, which is like saying, don't think about a pink elephant. Just don't think about a pink elephant, everybody. Don't think about it. But instead, you can go, I'll think about the pink elephant in a minute. In the meantime, I'm going to think about a purple one. And then suddenly you're thinking about a purple one, right? And you forgot about the pink one. So that's how it works. It's actually that simple. And module 4, I reminded you that money is energy. So it's, don't give away your power by making it the villain and telling these stories and putting blame on it. Make it feel welcome. Open up to the flow of money in your life. And so we started with little things like cleaning out your purse and, organizing your bank statements and stuff like that. Just showing money that you're ready for the flow. You're ready for more of it. You're ready to welcome it in. You're ready to take care of it. And I reminded you again that practicing new beliefs is what replaces old ones. So you don't have to fight the old ones. And we started talking about baby steps and how powerful they are. And, baby steps are in the way you talk, in the way you think, in the little things you do. Baby steps are on every single level, and they're really a powerful demonstration, and it's what allows the universe to leverage off of you. And when it comes to physical action, that's you showing up in the world. So it's the same as when you set your GPS. You say, this is where I want to go. That's my destination. You've got to actually start moving for the GPS to guide you and to help you get there. If you just sit there and go, teleport me now, that's not how it works, right? So you've got to take those baby steps, and they are powerful. It's about building habit patterns, about building new patterns until they become your new way of being. And then everything on the outside of you shifts, because you are the creator of your reality, baby. Nobody else, all right? So what else did I give you there? Just a really helpful little hint as well. If you're with the stories, if you're finding it hard to switch it up and you feel like you're just bullshitting, basically, it's not about telling a new story that's like fantasy land where in the back of your mind you're going, yeah. Like, I don't want it to be like when people recite affirmations that they don't believe, basically. So just make a conscious choice to stop telling the old story, delay and distract, and start telling a transition story if that's an easier way. So, noticing evidence and going #evidence. Wow, look, I've had this happen, that happen. Sharon Stanford, only a few weeks ago, had no idea how she was going to get herself to the US to get to that retreat. And she's over there now, baby. Like, just like that, that needs to be celebrated. That needs to be reinforced. That story needs to be told. So when you notice evidence, when you notice cool things happening and money flowing, tell that story. That's a great story. That's really, really powerful. And at other times where maybe that you don't have the evidence right there and handy and you're just wanting to shift things, tell a transition story. I'm now starting to take better care of my money. I'm now starting to eliminate all my debt. I'm now starting to feel so empowered about money, and I know that that's what helps more money flow to me. So tell the transition story, because that is a shift in energy, and that's exciting and that's empowering. And, taking action is a sign of faith. It's faith in motion. It's really, really powerful. So just a reminder also, you've got in module 4 the money flow meditation, which is just a bit of unconscious guidance around money anytime you need it. So anytime you go, want to have my unconscious give me a little bit of a bit of guidance around money and where I'm at with it and how to make this even better, go to that meditation. It's really powerful. It's sort of the next best thing to having a one-on-one session with me where we have a two-way thing where I can really break it down for you. But in that meditation, it's the same as if I would record a hypnotic process for myself to listen to later, which I sometimes do. It's the best thing. So it's really, really powerful. It gives you some super powerful guidance. So basically, I just want to sum it up by saying it's all up to you guys. And the most important thing is to just be aware of what's going on, take baby steps and celebrate the shit out of every wonderful thing that happens. You've all come such a long way through these 6 modules. I really wish I'd gotten you to just write stuff down. Maybe your money tracker, even when you first started tracking your money thoughts, look back on that, look back on some of that stuff, because noticing your growth and noticing your evolution is a really powerful process. We forget what we were like before, because that's not us anymore, because we have changed, right? And so you can't relate, you can't connect, but it's really important to just celebrate that. And I've noticed every single one of you growing and evolving so much, and I just couldn't be more proud and more excited. And I know that it's just, there's more and more and more to come, and it just builds and builds and builds. So thank you all very much for letting me guide you through the last 6 weeks live. I'm still in the group. I'm there to answer questions. Tag me. If I don't respond within 24 hours, it means I missed it. Tag me again. You're not nagging. You're just helping me do what I really want to be doing. And as I mentioned at the start of the call, the next live round will start in June. So you're all there to do it all again. Jump on the Q&As, do the full module, whatever you need to do, but it's all there for you. And, I'm also there to support you in between now and then. So cool. All right, I might just do a quick check-in with you. I'm just going to mute everybody. Does anybody have any questions or final comments or anything else at this point? All good?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tagged you a while ago because I think it's just so weird that when I have a lot of energy and I feel bubbly and I want to work, then people are not coming. And when I feel really low, my energy is like below carpet level, I feel like shit and crap, then they come running, literally throwing themselves at me and wanting to work with me. And I'm like, according to the law of attraction that I know, this is not supposed to be working, because you're vibing high and you're attracting people. When I'm feeling like shit, usually you get shit, but a lot of times that's when I get a lot of work and I'm too tired to appreciate it, because I'm like wiped, and I have to postpone people and put them on hold. And I know that you asked me to explain it and to ask myself what was going on, and I actually just noticed it not so long ago, that this has happened a couple of times, but I don't know what it is. I really don't know.
So
if
all
that
right.
is a lot of allowing all of a sudden, I don't know, it's just really weird, because it just doesn't make sense to me that we're trying to vibe high, but when I just go F it, then just wham. It's just
Yeah. So two things, right, that are going on there possibly for you. And because law of attraction just is, right? It always is. And there's no, as you know, there's no timeout. So there's a vibration there that's creating that pattern. So the two things that popped in my mind just then, and I know I put some comments for you last time, but the two things that kind of come up when I feel into that is, number one, what would you have to believe for that to happen? So you have to work hard for money, or making money has to be hard work and tiring and draining, because that's certainly something you're creating, that you're generating income and clients at a time where it's probably the hardest for you and you have to work the hardest for it. So that's one thing that came up. So dive into that and see if there's some beliefs around, having to work hard for your money and earning money being a draining, tiring thing. Look into that. And the other side of it is, if there's an underlying belief that then the other way to look at it as well, and I just want you to feel into it, because you're really in tune with all of this, right? So you're going to feel which one it is, but I just want to throw these two things at you. So that's one. And the other one is, if when you're saying, okay, I'm high vibing, I'm feeling great, and I'm out there, but it's still not happening, then what's the predominant vibration underneath that? And it could be what I just said, that, yeah, but right now I'm feeling good, and when I'm feeling it, I feel too good to be earning money, because it's not a match,
Okay.
It's not a match. Or there's still an underlying vibration, but nobody wants what I've got to offer, or it's not valuable, or whatever. That could be the predominant vibration still going on. And then what's happening is, when you're feeling like crap and you stop being out there making offers, going, hey, here's my thing, here's what I do, because you just don't care, because you don't even want it anymore. You let go of the resistance, because you're just letting go of everything because you're feeling like crap. And so it just all starts flowing. And you're going, well, but now I don't want it, or I can't do it. So
exactly. And it's really frustrating. So I think it's more the latter, because I really don't believe.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. Even as I was saying that, I was like, no, I don't think that's it. But I wanted to see what you,
Yeah. No, I don't think that you have to work hard to make money, because if that was true, I think that both Vivian and me would be gazillionaires, because we have worked so hard and we have had like 3 jobs at the same time. And sometimes I have to look at the calendar, like, what part of town am I going to work this day? It's been crazy. And we did not make a lot of money,
Yeah.
So,
because when you're sick, and like you said, I don't even care anymore, because I'm sick now, you release all resistance around it.
Absolutely. And I did not even post offers, and people were like, yeah, I've heard about blah, 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 and I want to book you. I'm like, oh, come on. It's like, seriously?
Yeah. So you really need to allow yourself to feel a little deeper into what the underlying, like, there is an underlying vibration, and
yeah,
you
have to
might
figure out what it is. I'm just not really.
And I see that a lot in people, where they go, but I'm doing all the high vibing stuff, I'm meditating, I'm doing this, I'm doing my happy habits, but it's still like, that's at the surface, and underneath there is a vibration that they're sort of repressing or not acknowledging is actually going on. And sometimes it's a fear of, oh, if all this comes in, will I be able to handle it? How can I help? Will it drain me, or I'm not equipped to handle it all, sort of thing, is often a fear that's underlying it as well. So seeing, like, yeah, maybe, what am I trying to say? Sometimes people use all their high vibing stuff to try and suppress and mask a negative vibration. But what can be really helpful is actually just stop that and let it rise and notice it, so that you can process it and notice it and really let it flow through you. And, opening your heart space and really feeling it allows you to dissolve it. So I think, did I give you guys a copy of the Heart Math Coherence meditation? That's a really good one for that sort of thing as well.
You talked about it, but you haven't given it to us.
Okay, I might just post a link in the group. It was actually I actually gave it away as a freebie in my newsletter this week as well. So I'll just give you guys the direct link to download it. And that's a really good one, just for really opening up. So yeah, I would say allow yourself to not be trying to high vibe, and just see what's actually there, and allow yourself to kind of sink into what's going on a bit lower down in the unconscious.
Well, I don't really try to vibe high. I'm naturally very happy. It's just for a while I was feeling really shitty, and it was just like, what is going on? This is just so weird.
So when you're out there putting offers out and so on, and you say, but I'm feeling good and I'm high vibing when I'm putting my offers out, what are you doing?
Well, I'm putting together things that I would like to get for myself, or something that I think will benefit people. So that's how I'm putting together the offers.
Mm-hmm.
And I mix them up a little bit. So sometimes I have like my main thing, as you know, and then I give other options.
Yeah. So while you're out there, putting offers out and so on, you're going, oh, but I'm feeling good, I'm high vibing. There is obviously something still there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And when you feel sick, you release the resistance and it can start to flow. So it's interesting, isn't it? Like, if you just, how about so practice putting your offers out without attachment.
Mm-hmm. I have actually noticed when I don't care about something, then things happening, but then I kind of feel like it's really hard to celebrate because I really don't care. Does that make sense?
So why is it hard to celebrate when good things happen?
Well, it's just that, I was just doing this and I really didn't care about it, and now it happened. I'm like, yeah, whatever, I didn't care about it. So, it doesn't matter if it happened.
So is it only worth celebrating if you really desperately wanted it, were almost thinking it might never happen, and then it happened anyway, and so it's been this whole huge emotional roller coaster? Like, is it only worth celebrating if you've had to go through that? Like, it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like, I think it's some kind of weird layers, because it's like, I kind of want to manifest things that I really want, but a lot of times I manifest things I couldn't care shit about, and they're good stuff
because you don't care.
But they're not making me happy because it's not really what I wanted. So
it only makes you happy if you really wanted it, because you were really noticing that it wasn't there, so that made you want it more. It's almost that thing that we talked about before, like, I don't need anything. So this is, and Abraham talks about this a lot. So if you find an Abraham recording, they explain it really beautifully. People often think that desire is a feeling of yearning. We go, oh, I really want it. And we call that desire, but desire is actually just being really excited and in the flow, and yeah, it's here, and I'm enjoying this, and this is great. Like, but we make it about this big high because it comes from almost a desperation kind of feeling, and I'm sort of exaggerating the words a little bit just to let you feel it, but people often think that desire means this really, I really want it, I really, really want it, and when we're actually doing that, the predominant vibration behind that is actually, I really want it because I don't have it, and it would mean so much to me to have it. And the reason it would mean so much to me to have it is because I really feel that, I feel the lack of it in my life, and so that makes me really, really want it. And so that's actually that's actually practicing the vibration of the absence of it. And when you don't care, you just allow it to flow, and it's like, yeah, it's no big deal.
Yes, but if I don't care, if it's something that happens that I really don't care, it's really hard to celebrate that. I don't have to be desperate and desire it desperately. It's not about that, but it's like, if I'm excited about something, if I'm like, yeah, you know, this would be really cool, and then nothing happens, and then you go, well, you know, blah, 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 and you're over here, and then something happens, and you go, what the hell?
Yeah, so bottom line is the things that you go, I'd really like this, you're just too attached to them still to allow them in.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, you know, the best way for me to manifest if I don't care, but then it's real, I feel it's not, it doesn't make me equally happy. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the key, right? And it's like what I said with visualization. So we visualize not to be attached to those details or to try and force them to happen. We visualize just for the fun of it, just for the excitement of it, right? But our goals should be bigger and beyond that, beyond just the little specifics. So what you want to do is start getting attached to these things that you would like, that you desire, that you go, oh, this would be cool and that'd be cool and I'd love my big house. Like, what's behind it? Like, what's the bigger end result? What's the bigger thing behind it? And it's usually more into the feelings of it. You know, I want to feel abundant. I want to feel a beautiful flow of wealth. Like, I want to feel that feeling. So that's why we go, abundance is everywhere, and we want to get on the vibe of abundance, and then the details fill themselves in. And so the trick is to use the details to get excited about, but not be attached to them, but to attach to the bigger thing behind it. And then that allows all the details to be filled in by the universe in whatever way is perfect. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Whereas if you attach to the details, then you're choking the flow. If you like, if your goal is up here and the details are just the little bits along the way, and you know, it's not up to you to know exactly how that can happen, then you need to attach up here and allow the universe to take the best route and the most fun route, and then you can enjoy all those things along the way, but stay attached up here. Because if you attach down here at the little, this is how it has to happen, this is how I want it to happen, then you're getting caught up in what Mike Dooley calls the horrid house. In the Infinite Possibilities program, we call that the horrid house, and that closes down the magic of the universe, because then you're getting caught up in specifics and it's got to happen this way and that way, and you're too attached to it, and that chokes the flow, basically. So attach to the big end result, but get excited about the details. So it's a bit of a dance.
Yep.
Now, my battery's going flat because I'm sitting outside, and I've just had the message on my laptop, and I'm just worried that if it goes flat, I might lose the recording. So does anyone have any quick last questions for me before I close it up? All good? All happy? Excellent. Yes, Ali, I can't wait to see how far you grow between now and the next round either, because you're always growing constantly. So very exciting stuff. All right, beautiful ladies. Thank you very much for joining me live on the call today. I'll see you all in the group. Keep up the beautiful work. Bye. Mwah.